welcome to Skate Date.
Hello.
It is Skate Date is a podcast where we talk about the real world and the real world, aka life, and then roller skating life. I'm Rebel.
I'm Shove.
And together we're Shovel.
Can you dig it?
I can. So, this week, Shove doesn't want to be here again, but I'm making her. How do you feel about that, babe?
I'm just really tired and I have a giant knot in my neck and my back hurts and I'm really tired.
I get that. This morning, I had one of those days this morning too. I was really struggling to get out of bed and I was literally like, I don't know that I am ever going to get out of bed and be happy when I get out of bed again. And that made me really sad.
Yeah, here we are. Yay.
Yeah. I had to take a nap for a little bit because I was like, I'm going to die.
I wish I took a nap. I'd probably be in a better mood now.
Yeah, well. So last week we did a lot of fun stuff, right, babe?
We did?
Yeah, we went to see Tarantina.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, that was last week.
Oh, man.
It was really cool, huh?
Whoa, that is so crazy. It was Wednesday that we did that?
Yeah, doesn't it feel
and
like
it's already Monday?
Year ago? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm tripping out. Yeah, it's been a crazy week.
Yeah, there's been so much stuff that's happened, but
I had a friend break their arm.
yeah, spent a long time in the hospital just hoping that they were okay.
Yeah.
And we worked and we went on a skate adventure on Sunday and we also skated
on Saturday.
I
went somewhere I've never been. We went to Balboa.
Yeah, at the Blacktop in Newport. It was really cool. It's so beautiful. It's like a huge area you could skate on right next to the beach.
So you just kept saying, Balboa Beach, but I thought like Balboa was a place. So
Balboa is a place.
But it's a city of Newport?
You know how Signal Hill is like Signal Hill, but it's also Long Beach?
Okay. So Balboa is inside
Balboa is Balboa, but also Newport.
See, I don't know a jack squat about the OC.
Yeah, it's Balboa. So Balboa Peninsula is technically Newport Beach, but it's Balboa. That was my first job was on Balboa Peninsula. I worked at a silver store. I loved it.
She's always talking about the silver store that she worked
like
at.
So much fond memories, but also like what a random job. Yeah. So we did a lot this last week, but it was still fun. So it feels like a million years, but also yesterday since the last time we hung out with you and talked about how much we loved and hated Valentine's Day, which guess what we're doing tomorrow?
I'm celebrating Valentine's Day.
For real, yeah. But I don't actually know what we're doing. It's a surprise. Shove is surprising me, so I'm really excited.
Yeah. All she knows so far is that we're going to LA for this like cool, I guess you could call it a museum. It's like one of those places where each room is like decorated differently, like over the top colorful. So like kind of why I chose our black and white outfits.
And I know that we're going to match.
Yeah, because we're going to stand out with all the pop art.
I'm really excited.
And there's also a reservation. So do not do not be late tomorrow.
I'm finding more out as we're talking right now because I didn't know actually some of that stuff.
You need to be ready at 11:30 a.m.
Oh, that's later than I thought we were going to start. That's cool.
Oh, no. I want to sleep in. We haven't had a chance to sleep in. So
I'm so
11:30 a.m. You need to be ready.
I will be ready.
We're going to have an amazing day.
1,000%. Hell
doing a bunch of stuff. I'm going to do a bunch of stuff that I don't like to do, but I know Rebel likes or loves because Rebel, I keep telling her I'm going to go full Rebel and she's not ready for it. And she's like, I don't even know what that means. And I'm like, you do like 12 days of Christmas and spoil me. And you're like, do all this like stuff and like, you give me back massages. And you're like, oh, let me just like make sure you do all this stuff and give you all the things you love. And like, you're the romantic. And I'm just like, I do it really rarely, but I'm just like, Like you do things that I love that you're like whatever about all the time. And for me, I'm just like, let's do this fun thing so that we'll both enjoy. But I'm going to do things for her that I know she'll enjoy. And then I'll be like, I'm doing this because I love her.
I'm so excited. We haven't ever had a day like this before.
Yeah, I don't know if our relationship will survive it.
That's a lie.
At the end, I'm gonna be like, wait, this is actually, you're way happy and I hate this all. Do I love you? And then now I do. Opposites attract.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna be like, actually, I hate all of these things. I'm like, damn, I don't know you. And you're gonna be like, yeah, this isn't gonna work out.
What? That would be so weird. Yeah, that's definitely not the case.
And get a skate date, it turns into skate pal.
That sounds like, I don't know, some sort of like tech device.
Skate pal?
Yeah, like the Skate Pal. Good for, like, I don't know.
It's already an app as soon as someone there's already, there you go. I made that.
Skate Pal.
Skate pal.
I mean, I just feel like if there was ever like an AI that somehow supported you as a roller skater, it would be called Skate Pal. Anyways, so today, before we tell you, actually, we could tell you what we're talking about. Today, we're going to talk about social media and like being on different parts of social media and like virality and like trends and stuff like that. And then we're also going to talk about wide trucks. So get ready for that. But before we fully jump in, we're going to respond to some comments that we got this past week. Y'all, please comment on our YouTube channel so that we have things to respond to.
We don't have to. It's just
we don't
casual.
have to. It's
don't
cash.
worry about commenting. It's just if there's a comment, we'll comment on it. If there's no comment, we do the next.
It's
next
casual, but
Rebel's trying to be pushy like last season. We're not going to be pushy with our listeners anymore.
Okay, I like the structure, but okay. So, the first one you can respond to. You want to read it? It's right there. It's from this person.
Thick with 2 C's Bunny. Thick Bunny says, I love you guys.
Yeah, that's a comment. we love you too, Thick Bunny. Yeah.
I'm thick with 3 C's.
Yeah, thick with all the C's. So the next comment is actually an Instagram DM that we received, and it's by Grace WZR Wizard Dreams. And they say, Dear Skate Date, love the pod and wanted to contribute to the new obsession segment. While working from home, I like to listen to YouTube vlogs and pods. And one of my recent obsessions is Fundy Friday. The host Jen does their makeup while discussing a variety of fundamentalist families, reality stars, groups, and cults. They snarlingly deconstruct and discuss fundamentalist Christianity and other adjacent religious sects. Anyway, I think the channel might appeal to you both and wanted to share. They're also on Instagram. Isn't that so interesting?
It reminds me of Bailey Sarian.
Yeah, I know, but I love that they like specialize it in like fundamentalist families, reality stars, groups, and cults, and they call it Fundy Friday.
Could add it to my repertoire.
Yeah, we should check it out for sure. I think I would like it, but I also think I'd be triggered by it. So I don't know. Maybe I'll let Shove watch it first. And then she can tell me if I can watch it without having a little bit of a panic attack.
I love cults. It was like what made me fall for this one. So she was like, I was in a cult once, and I was like, tell me more. Now I think I love you. You're definitely going to be my girlfriend one day.
You know what's so funny? That I did talk about that on our first date.
You talked about everything because you overshare everything.
No, I don't overshare everything because there literally wouldn't be possible for me to overshare 27 years of life while I was on one first date.
You weren't diagnosed or medicated from ADHD yet, so maybe there was.
I don't know.
I didn't do much talking. That's all I remember.
The main thing that I remember is you totally beating my ass at pool. And then also when they brought me a tequila and tonic instead of a gin and tonic. And I was like, I guess I'll just drink it. And it was so gross. Yeah, anyways. So, and I remember talking about the cult I was in. And then I remember being like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have talked about that on a first date. Anyways, so so those are our comments. Today we have a little bit of an ad, dee-dad, and it is Shove. So why don't you go ahead?
Wow, I didn't even know I had an ad today. Thanks, babe, for writing it down and pointing out a notebook so I could tell the people all the lovely news. My shop is a failure, so I'm putting everything on
No,
sale.
it's not a failure. It's not a failure.
Let me talk.
Okay.
So I have decided that my life and my mental health does not have the room to ship things out anymore personally. So it's moving to dropship, but until then, all of my stickers and prints will be 60% off at checkout. You'll see it's taken off. So I'm just doing a blowout sale and getting rid of everything.
Holy macaroni.
Yeah, so head on over to fatfemmefatale.com.
Yeah, so Chef's having a big sale, so you should go shop her shop because literally you could get like so much stuff for like actually like so cheap.
Yeah, I'm like not even making money. I just
she's just trying
don't
to
want to
like,
look at it anymore. It's depressing.
yeah, she's like, I don't want to run a shop anymore. That was a manic thing, maybe not. I don't know, but
I think it was.
Yeah. So
it was a manic thing that I had to be paying for a very long time.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's our ad. So now let's go into the real world. In the real world, we talk about all the things that we want to talk about. And today we're going to talk about social media and how weird it is and the evolution of it and like how weird it is. Okay, so what I really wanted to talk about is how weird is it that like in our like adult lifetimes or whatever, like there have been so many different like primary social media platforms and we've been on so many of them. Like I just think that's so crazy.
Because we're old.
No, I know, but like we're the first generation that's been on like so many social media platforms because before us it didn't exist, right? Like they literally started with our generation. And so it's just like so wild to have experienced all of that.
Yeah.
Like you literally started as a Tumblr queen.
No, I didn't.
What? Oh, you started on Facebook?
MySpace.
Oh, you started on MySpace.
MySpace.
Wait, was Tumblr before MySpace or after MySpace? Simultaneous?
Well, before you had oh my god, what's the blog one?
Was it called Blogger?
I feel
I feel like it was called Blogger.
So you had like the blogging one first, but I wasn't on that. But I had friends on there. Then MySpace became like a huge thing. So I didn't even have a computer yet. So I created my MySpace page on my friend's computer, and then I would check it after school all the time. And then like that year later on, my dad finally got a computer for the house, and I became obsessed. So I was a MySpace scene queen for a really long time right after high school. And I think like I was in groups, but it was more like subculture. Like, oh my God, so bad. The KKK, Killer Kids of Color.
Oh my God.
It was
what?
a scene group on MySpace. So it was all black scene kids. And it was like, we're taking it. It was okay. It was a different time. The year was 2007.
2007.
That was funny. It was ironic. So metal. So yeah, and in that, I feel like it was like, yeah, we got our like the hair, the makeup, rawr.
Rawr.
Yeah, it was a thing going on like MySpace, like follow chains and stuff. Man, that was a whole thing. Yeah, but then Tumblr was like the first time I think like I was like, oh shit, like a lot of notes, lots of notes. I remember they were called notes. Yeah. So like likes and reshares, and you know, I did like the artsy nudes and like the poetry and like talked like going to Tumblr and reading through Tumblr is where I'm like, oh, you are crazy. You've been crazy. Because since I was like a live blog and I was brutally honest and just like the ups and downs and like kind of seeing the flow and like how things were repeating. Like when I look back at it, it's like, ooh, this is hard to look at. I actually got locked out of my Tumblr, but I can still like look it up because I remember the name, and so I can read it as like just someone looking at it, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, you were just putting everything out there for the world.
Didn't you have, when we first started dating, didn't you still have a Tumblr that you were using?
I started another one, and then I just didn't. My heart wasn't in it though, because by then Instagram had my heart.
Yeah, Instagram really had stolen your heart for sure, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel like, I don't know, like, do you feel like there was kind of something that was sparked in you when you were on MySpace and that kind of stayed with you? Or do you think...
Well, MySpace, I think the reason like that never blew up, and I was never like, I would never say like as much as like, oh, scene queen, because I was like in the scene, but I wasn't a scene queen. I was just a scene kid. And that was mostly because I didn't know who I was yet. It was more like I got to look like all these other people. Like, fueled my eating disorder because there were so many like teeny tiny scene girls, and like so I would want to look like them. So like it was like my inspiration, like making my big hair and like having a pale face and like not eating and being like looking like unhealthy fit in with looking seen. And like it was more like just repeating like, oh, they did their makeup this way, so I'm gonna do my makeup this way. They did that. So it was kind of like a way to like the bad social media where it was like I just want to look like everyone else. By the time Tumblr came around, it was more like creative for me.
I wasn't really like, I was definitely on MySpace, and that was for sure my first social media. I mean, I had a blog spot and like I was on Blogger, but it was kind of just like, you know, touch and go, whatever. But on MySpace, it was definitely more like just like friend centric. It was never reaching outside my social network that I knew in real life. And I never was on Tumblr for real. Like, I think I maybe had one, but I was never like fully into it. And I think that that's because the time that I would have been into it, I was in the cult where I wasn't allowed on social media or anything like that. And then I had a Facebook, and I remember being like, oh my God, I have so many like friends. I had like 3,000 friends, and that was a lot back then. And, but it was never, I think it's same concept. Like I didn't really know who I was. And so how can you possibly really be a leader when you don't really have your own like anything to, I don't know, like what are you hosting if you don't really know what you like or want or anything like that. So I think that's definitely where I was. And then I don't like, it's so weird, there's like a gap for me between.
Wait,
like,
did you
Facebook
ever
and...
like get a partner out of MySpace?
No, so for me, MySpace, I never really met anyone. I met people like on chat rooms, like in chat rooms.
Yeah, I met like 3 boyfriends off of MySpace.
I forgot AIM. Does that count as a? I mean, it's not a social media,
No,
but do you
okay.
remember AIM Messenger though?
No. Oh, we got to take it way back. Okay. Before the internet was like a huge thing, and like a lot of people had computers, especially if you were in poverty, as I was, like it was rare to have a house computer. So our social media where you would like chat with strangers and go into rooms was the party line.
Oh my gosh.
So the party line, we had the Loop. I think it was called the Loop. And like the number would be written on desks in school or like in the bathroom. And it was this number you called, and you put in a number, and you had like your mailbox. It was totally free too. And different numbers were different rooms. Like number 3 might be the punk room. Number 4 would be like the Mexican room. Number 5 would be the black kid room. And it was like almost everyone in Compton knew, and surrounding areas knew about this. And it was like mostly, it was always kind of cringe now because I'm like, we assumed it was all teenagers, but definitely there were like,
for sure, there were not. Yeah,
I definitely like did some shady shit with someone. I was like, "You're not a teenager like me," but like, but like you would meet up. Like you would meet up in the chat room and you just talk to people, but you weren't like live chatting. You like put their number and like everyone would be leaving things and be like, hit me up, number blah, blah, blah. And then so someone would just slide into your inbox and then say something, and then you would keep talking voicemail to voicemail. And then you could be like, oh, okay, let's meet up. And then you had a private chat and you just talk together and you decide if you wanted to give them your phone number to like have a normal conversation or not. And when you'd sign onto the party chat, you'd check your mailbox, and like sometimes someone would leave a song for you and you wouldn't know who it was or if they didn't say. So you'd be like, who did that? And that was like the original like social media.
Oh my God. Imagine if nowadays people had to do that for social media.
Yeah. And then it's like what you were talking about. Like I did Yahoo chat rooms. So that was going to internet cafes and like, or if you did at home and you would just go into chat rooms and chat with people.
Yeah. I don't remember if it was Yahoo chat rooms or just chat rooms in general that I used to go into, but just random chat rooms.
But like as dangerous as all those were,
so
that
dangerous.
wasn't like built up on like, and it was dangerous in that way. And now it's like another kind of danger where it has that as well. But now it's like, investing yourself in how many likes you have and follows you have, and like so that's what's reliant. And that's when we're talking about like MySpace friends and Facebook friends and Tumblr notes and Instagram likes and follows.
Yeah
And TikTok.
So wild. Yeah, so then it was just kind of like, well, then Snapchat was like in between Facebook and...
But Snapchat felt like a party line to me, but with videos instead of voicemails.
Yeah, I never was like trying to get a claim on Snapchat. Not that I've ever been trying to get a claim.
Well, it was points, like, remember? How many points do you have?
And there was also like streaks that you would get.
Yeah, and then it was like, then everyone had like a VIP Snap.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
When you found out you could send someone money, and then I was like, okay, like, but I don't know. Snapchat was fun because it was like filters. Because that was like,
yeah, that was what it was all about. I think Snapchat was the introduction of like the wild filters, or at least the flame that caught on to society and caused like now TikTok and Instagram and everything.
To me, like Instagram's the biggest monster because it sees other things that are thriving or that people like, and then they just keep adding it to their app.
Well, because Instagram is literally Facebook.
Yeah.
Meta, whatever.
Metaverse.
Well, I don't know. I think I think Metaverse is going to be the next big thing after TikTok, and I think that's going to be really fascinating and weird, and I don't understand it yet, but
yeah. And like you're moving a lot of your time and energy to TikTok.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm at home there. I don't know how to describe I saw a TikTok this morning that someone was like, I've been watching a lot of like big time Instagram like influencers, meaning like people with like millions of followers or, thousands of followers or hundreds of thousands, whatever, come over to TikTok and fail. And the reason why is because TikTok like isn't about an aesthetic. Like TikTok is literally about having a personality and being entertaining and like keeping people around because they want to be friends with you. Like they want to know about you, because TikTok really is like, you post so many times a day because like that's what the algorithm likes. So a lot of the content is just like blah, 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 blah. And then you just like post it. And I feel seen when I'm on there. Like it just feels like the stuff that I would say in my Instagram stories, I'm now just turning into TikToks and like putting it on there.
Interesting. That'd probably be better for me because like for me, I always feel like, don't ask me about any of the features and how to record or do anything in there. Like I'll put some little edits up there and upload it, and that's all I got. And to know like how far my TikToks come is like, I don't know. It's unbeknownst to me. It's just like, it's doing well. It's there. Like I've literally been paid to do a TikTok before, and I'm like, really? Like TikTok, I don't know anything about it. And then I'm like, wait, maybe my followers like count, because I feel like on TikTok you have to have 1 million followers or it's nothing. On Instagram you have like 10,000, it's a huge deal. But if you have like 10,000 on TikTok, that's like nothing. Like it's weird.
It's
I don't
weird.
get it.
It's really weird because the TikTok algorithm is a interest based algorithm as opposed to a it's not like the way that you are receiving things in your For You page isn't based off of who you follow. It's based off of what you're interested in. And so that's why it's so different. Like you can get a bunch of followers or people can follow you and they're not just going to see your stuff in their feed. They're only going to see your stuff in their feed if you're also putting out stuff that they're interested in. So it's like really interesting and totally different the way that the way it works is just different than other social medias. So it's less pressure, I think. Like, I don't feel bad if I put up something that doesn't mean anything because nobody's going to see it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, so I don't know. So I've been doing TikTok a lot recently and I've been having a lot of fun with it. I also just think that like, for now, I think TikTok's where it's at. I don't know how it could potentially like monetize or what it could potentially lead to, but I just feel like there's a lot of potential there because it still is so new. Like it's only a few years old still, you know?
We forgot about a big one that's big for you, YouTube.
Oh yeah, duh. And we also forgot about Twitter. And like Reddit and stuff.
Yeah, but
we're
there's
not. Yeah, there's so many.
There's so much. We're just gonna talk about like what we're involved with.
Yeah, YouTube is a big one for me for sure, and I love YouTube. I love long form content. I love creating something and feeling like I'm a TV show host, which is basically what YouTube is. You know, it's like little TV shows that you're creating, and you like put up content every week at a certain time and people go and they watch your content that you've created. And I love it. It's created a community for me in a way that I've never successfully created a community for. Like, I definitely feel like YouTube is the place that I've been the most successful and that I've thrived the most. And I love it there. And I will probably stay there for a very long time because I feel like YouTube is one of those ones that aren't going to fade away. I feel like it's going to kind of be a pillar for a while in the same way that Google is like a pillar of a search engine. So, but that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, I really like YouTube.
I feel like with social media, it's like fun. And then like there's a purpose for me to use it now. Like, I love being able to spread a message to people or just being that representation. But I'm like, I don't know, like I know like I should care and like follow these things and try to trend more and things like that because it gives me a bigger platform. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm just doing things whenever I feel creative. Make it fun. Don't make it too serious. Like if it's how you want to like get that bank, then yeah, you got to be serious about it. But at the end of the day, it's just social media. It's not real life. Don't give in to like having to be on your phone on social media when you have real friends right there. It's okay to not be glued to your phone. Like, it's okay.
Yeah. And I feel like that's definitely been a trend for you recently where you're just kind of like, yeah, meh on social media.
For the past like year.
Do you think that there's something that happened that caused you to feel that way?
Probably.
Do you know what it is?
I don't know. Probably some sort of trauma.
Yeah, for sure.
It's always trauma.
Always. Trauma.
Probably got attacked on social media and then my eye twitched and I was like, fuck everyone.
Yeah.
You don't deserve to see me like on here anymore. I don't know. Like, no, I think like I do remember what it was. I did shrooms for my birthday last year, and one of the things that like started giving me a bad trip was thinking about I was thinking Rebel was recording it for social media and like putting it, and I remember thinking like, why is she recording right now? Like, this is like not the time. Why is the camera always on? Why does everything have to be on social media? And then I remember being like, bitch, you're tripping, it's kicking in, the camera is not on right now or even set up. And then that was like the underlining thing I kept thinking about. And then when I came out of it, I was like, I don't want my life to be just social media. I want to be able to let things go and live in the moment, and not like everything needs to be like, look at me in my Instagram stories, or let me post this and post that. Like, some things can be just for me, and there are some things I want to share with the world because it is so special and I want to have those memories. But for the most part, like, I'm just like, I'm good on it. Like, I don't need it to be like, I don't need to be on and have like my phone on all the time.
Yeah. I definitely feel like recently I've been more into social media than I had before, but in a different way. I feel like I put a lot less value in it. Like, I'm not concerned if my following goes up or down, and I'm not really paying attention to numbers because what I've learned over the past couple years is that numbers don't matter and they don't contribute to like success or money necessarily. I mean, they're a factor, but like if you're good at content creating, like, I don't know. I have seen it in a totally different light. And the light that I've seen it in is like, oh, like I want to go into marketing. Like, I'm already in marketing. I am in the field of marketing and I'm in the field of like content creating and that kind of stuff. And that's something that I really, really enjoy, and totally seeing it through this like work-based lens as opposed to like me trying to succeed at it in a personal way is so much more interesting to me and so much more healthy for me too. Like, nowadays I'm doing a bunch of content creating, but it's not for my personal stuff. It's like for like people that I work for. And that's been like, there's no me attached to like value. Like my identity is not tied to the value of said piece of content. And that feels really great and like allows me to be creative without having to feel like I need to check and see if it's doing well, and if it's doing well then I'm interesting to people or not or whatever.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. I'm over social media. Can we move to the next one?
Sure. Okay. Now we're in the wheel world. The wheel world is where we talk about roller skating. And today we're going to talk about wide trucks. Wide truck hype.
Honk, honk. That kind of wide truck?
I mean, if you want,
a double wide?
A double wide. We could talk
Caution
about
wide truck?
No, we're talking about like when you have a roller skate, there are trucks on your roller skate, and the trucks are attached to the plates, and the trucks are what your wheels are attached to. And so there are narrow or like standard trucks, and then there are wide trucks.
Yeah, like we're talking about the hanger part specifically. Right now there's not too many that are meant for roller skates, like for every roller skate. Like there's a Sure Grip one, but it's super fucking tall, so if you want to like skate like you're in platforms, that could work for you. A lot of people like to be more agile and lower to the ground, and for that, like a lot of times the plates will be a little heavy, or like the penny trucks you can't really find at the moment because they discontinued them. So like I've seen them on eBay, or they're like resell.
But they're like super, super expensive.
Yeah.
Like super expensive. I looked into them. I was looking into them for a while, and I was like, why are these all so much money?
Yeah. And then it's just like, there's the Ridge ones, but I've heard mixed things about them. And the thing is, like, Ridge is also like for skateboards, pennies from a skateboard. Then you have the disco trucks, but then there's like a lot of mixed reviews on those. I've heard too many positive ones, so like we don't know her, we don't talk about her. Then there's the Moxie What trucks, which like is hard to come by right now, but coming back soon. And like I have those right now on my lollies, but I don't have them on a park setup yet.
I have mine. I have What trucks on a park setup, and I freaking love them.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
She put them on her skates and then use them forever.
I was so scared. I don't know why I was so scared, but I was. I thought I would fall over.
Why do you like them now?
So the reason why I like them now is I feel like they ground me a bit, but then also they allow me to like jump higher and be more aggressive while I'm skating because landing is easier. Mm-hmm. I also like that they're allowing me to try, not that you can totally grind and like go on ledges and like do all that kind of stuff with narrow trucks. But I've always been nervous of that. And I know that wide trucks makes it easier. So now that I have wide trucks, I feel confident enough to try those things. And I've been really enjoying trying those things, even though they're very scary to me and I still totally suck at them. But it's cool. So yeah, I really like that.
Well, something that's been, this is not my obsession for the week because I don't have one of those, but it's going to be my obsession, I guess, but I have to squeeze it in here, has been like watching these skaters that have shredded and been like, fuck wide trucks, like for so long, that like our narrow rider dies and then like they see their friend with wide trucks and then they're like, fuck, they leveled up, or like then they try their skates on and then like immediately you see them with it. It's been happening like in the last week. I've seen 3 people turn to wide trucks and it's like insane. I'm just like, it's like, I think we hate on things because we're like, well, we don't see them or we haven't tried them yet. And then we try it. We're like, damn it. These are actually cool. So I used to always be like, ew, wide trucks. That looks so stupid. Also, you're going to trip yourself. Like, why would you do that? So I was like, no, I'll never have those. And then I started like just seeing them. I'm like, maybe I need to try them. I don't know. See how they feel. And like first time I put them on my feet, I remember like just standing there and being like, I feel like I'm in shoes. Like, what? It's so sturdy.
I definitely was anti-wide trucks at first too, for no reason. Like there was there was no legitimate reason for me to be anti-wide trucks. And the only reason I can think of, which is so not even valid at all whatsoever, was that I was like, why would you make it easier for you to do these tricks? Like you should be able to do them. Like what? Like what is that even thought process? Stupid.
No, I think it's like the clout thing because it's like super cool to be like, I can do all these grinds and I'm on narrow trucks. It's like, damn, that's badass. But like also because you can do all those things on narrow trucks and you're working harder because you're in narrow trucks, when you put the wide ones on, you're gonna fucking full send.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why I would be like against leveling up, but yeah. So anyways, old Rebel, no. New Rebel, yes. So we love the wide trucks. I love them.
Now you just need to get your kingpins shaved down.
I definitely need to get my kingpins shaved down because I've been trying things on rails and I keep screeching to a halt by my low-hanging kingpins. But like, so wide trucks aren't technically made for roller skates. And so you kind of have to like adjust some shit on your skates and you're like DIYing, which is part of the roller skate experience, but you also can like fuck up your skate or fuck up the trucks or.
Well, yeah, a lot of time the pivot arm will like pop out or it'll be like, you'll be like, oh, that's a little wobbly. And you just slam your foot down and it goes back in. And that's just because the shape of the pivot arm of a lot of these is going to be different because for it to be able to fit within the pivot cup that goes into your truck, the shape really matters. So the length tends to be shorter for the skateboard, or it'll be flat on the top. It's just a different angle because it's going into a different part. Because when you buy these skateboard trucks, because it's a whole truck, it has the hanger attached to a piece of metal, which gets screwed into the board. So now we're popping off that piece of metal, which made it a truck, and now it's just a hanger. And then we're like, yeah, let's just shove this random shaped thing into this plate that's for something different. And that's hella sketch, but it works.
Yeah.
But that's why it's so hard to have like these hangers that fit in every freaking plate. Because people are just thinking, oh, it's just a truck. And it's like, no, it's a hanger. And the hanger has the arm and the pivot arm. The pivot arm is what's important. That's why I can't necessarily just take a I can't take a hanger from like a Reactor Neo and stick it into a Reactor Pro because it has a different type of pivot arm.
Yeah, this is very important information that I did not know when I first was trying wide trucks. And I was like, I just don't understand. And I felt very overwhelmed by like all of this knowledge.
Which is also why you see way more people with like the not the Sure Grip, the what is a plate? The Sunlight plates. It's because it's like easier for like some of the trucks to just go into a sunlight plate than it is for the reactor plates. And unfortunately, a lot of us park skaters have reactor plates.
Yeah.
And now I know why, because I was like hearing that on the East Coast that a lot of people are like, oh, Team Avanti, like they hate the reactor plates. But out here, almost everyone rides reactor plates. And then we're like, oh, now we have these white trucks, but they're not fitting. None of the white trucks fit in the reactor. So then you have to switch to something. So then people are switching to Avanti for a lot of them. And then a lot of them are like, oh, the sunlight fits them. So it's like you have to end up changing your whole setup just because like of your trucks.
Yeah, literally. Okay, my whole setup for park skating changed recently. I went from having narrow trucks, the Neo reactor plate, and the CIB slide blocks to I switched to the sunlight plate, the wide trucks, and then I got a Bigfoot slide block. And I was like, well, this is an entirely different skate now, so I guess we'll just see. And I was even like, I don't even know what parts I like or don't like because I can't narrow down what is making it feel how. Because
do your skates feel lighter or no?
No, they don't feel lighter.
That makes sense because you still have a block.
Yeah, and the block is like big, but I love it. So I really like my new skate setup. The only thing that is kind of like hard to get used to is that it's definitely higher. It's taller than it was before because the sunlight is like a tad bit taller, I think. Or at least that's my perception. I have no idea if it's actually taller or not than the reactor. Do you know if it is or not?
I don't know. I haven't thought about that.
I think it is because... But then again, I don't know, because I switched my reactor onto my like lollies, and I was skating in those the other day, and I was like, what is happening? This is so weird. These are not the plates that I usually have on these skates at all whatsoever.
Yeah, I feel like I would recommend wide trucks for even people that are like, my balance is really bad and I want to be more sturdy. I know someone that's a large guy. He's a fat fella and he's really tall, and he got the wide trucks just for like going down the street, like just skating in the neighborhood because he feels more sturdy on them. And I think that's another thing that could be valid for people is like, you don't necessarily need them for park skating. It could help you if you're just like, that balance isn't there and I need extra security.
Yeah, it definitely provides extra security. That's for sure. I put them on and I was like, what? I'm just like here. It's like, I don't feel like I'm going to banana out at all. But definitely not good for dance skating.
Nope.
So if you're a person who likes dance skating, do not get wide trucks. It is a terrible idea. If you're even considering dance skating, do not get wide trucks. And I would be wary when it comes to trail skating because it is whereas it does give you that like stability, it is really easy to trip yourself.
Yeah.
So like when you're skating with your feet next to each other or you're crossing over, anything like that, you just have to kind of like adjust to it and make sure that you're adapting your stride and like the way that you skate to the fact that you have wide trucks, because I definitely, even on the ramp, like have already tripped myself. And it's like because the skate just interlocks so easily. It's like they hook onto each other and you just can freaking
you just gotta get used to like
shit so
how
hard.
You have your feet.
Yeah.
Where you're at, that spatial awareness that you suffer with.
That I do not have, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's my thought about wide trucks. Do you have any other thoughts about wide trucks?
I just can't wait for my new park skates to show up so I can throw on a sunlight plate and finally have my wide trucks on there and really experience the full like park setup version of it.
Love it. And those skates are going to be so cute. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, y'all are going to die.
Y'all are seriously going to die.
Well, that's all we have for the wheel world.
Yeah. But let us know what you want us to talk about in the wheel world, because we'll always take your opinions into consideration. And let us know if you have tried wide trucks and what you like or don't like about them. All right, let's move on to next segment. All right, this next segment is called Trick of the Week. Our Trick of the Week is by Lil Space Cowgirl and Many Diced Quad. And it is this.
So this is a parody of a female skateboarder.
Oh,
So click on that.
Okay.
So basically the same song, and she had like a pink hoodie on and jeans, but her name is Stephanie Nerdine. She owns a skateboard company, and she shreds. She's a good skateboarder. But what she did is like she was like did this reel where she held up a deck and she's all, Jackass sent me this board, and then she goes to shred at the skate park. But it's like obviously that she has like a stunt devil, like it's like a guy skateboarding and like landing these like insane tricks, and then it cuts to her face and she's just like having fun, and she even like slips up in the beginning. So Kayla made the same video pretty much, but she had her boyfriend do all the tricks because he's a blader who has recently started skating, and their skate setups are very similar, so it was perfect. So they both wore pink shirts and then jeans, and for her she even like shows his face, like they cross each other and look at each other like what's up at it, because she's like so creative and so good with
she's so
any kind of reel, I swear, or skate
she's
content.
so good at social media.
Yeah, so like it's hilarious. And it was like she's not trolling this girl. She's just like, I'm gonna do the skate version of that, and it came out so good. Then I saw her post that the original creator of doing this, like she even commented on it and was like amazing or something like that.
You know what's so funny though? I swear that Kayla can do those tricks.
No, she can't.
Oh,
I think
it was just like because it was just a parody. Got it.
No, it's because he can do them even faster and harder. So the whole thing is about like, she can do all these tricks, but he can execute it like hardcore because he's been blading for so long.
Yeah.
And whenever bladers put on roller skates, all of a sudden they're shredders.
They're just like shredding it so crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I love it. Kayla, you're so good. I hope you're watching this. You're so good.
She doesn't. None of our friends do.
I know. None of our
Lil
friends watch
Space
our
Cowgirl. They did in the beginning.
No,
and then they're like
over us.
They're
now.
like, I see you in real life. I don't need to listen to you or watch you.
So funny.
They also watch your YouTube. It's like they can only take so much. You know?
Very true. Very true.
I
very
get it.
true.
I don't blame them.
I don't blame them either. But yeah, so if you don't follow Lil Space Cowgirl, you definitely should. Her name is Kayla. She's a shredder. She lives in Vegas, and she is awesome. So thanks for being our Trick of the Week. Yeah. And if you're wondering how these Trick of the Weeks get chosen, it's me and Chev. We just choose random.
We see something cool and we're like,
we see something cool.
It.
It's not like people are submitting themselves or anything like that. Or even these people don't even know that they're the Trick of the Week until we...
They're like, did they just call me a trick? Yes, you were the Trick of the Week.
Of the week.
Flavor
yes.
of the month. Trick of the
week. All right. Well, let's go into our obsessions. All right, our obsessions is whatever we're totally obsessed with this week. So I'll go first. I am totally obsessed with remaking stupid viral videos on TikTok. I feel like I should have picked something different because I didn't realize we were going to talk about this in the actual real world. So actually, okay, I changed it. My obsession this week is Fletcher Radio. Okay, so if you don't know who Fletcher is,
You're welcome.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, Chev introduced me to Fletcher Radio and Fletcher, and I'm obsessed. The ultimate women love women content. Is she just a single? Is she a band? I don't even know. I literally don't even know, but I'm obsessed with her music, and I'm obsessed with everything that surrounds that and creates like this like queer genre of like women music. I don't even know if that's what it's called. It's definitely not called that, but it's amazing.
Lescore.
It's Oh, okay. Lescore. I'm definitely going to take that one down. Love that. I'm obsessed with all of the music. I can't handle it. I love it so much. Give me a song where you talk about women being God and I'm in. Give me a song where you talk about like all the crazy ups and downs of being like a queer woman in love with another woman. I'm here for it. Slaughter me. Take me. I'm done. That's my obsession this week.
Like when we first started dating, she was obsessed with rainbows. Like it was like, I'm gay because of the rainbows. Rainbows everywhere. Rainbows on my face. Rainbows on my clothing.
You know what's funny? I was never actually obsessed with rainbows though.
No, but like not like cheesy, but like incorporating it into things, not like the cheesy rainbow. It was still tastefully done, but it was still like I am gay type of deal. And now it's more like, oh, that's definitely a lesbian. Like just like style wise, music taste, like things like that. And before I felt like you were like a fresh baby gay boy trapped in a lesbian's body, and now you're just like, I'm a stylish lesbian. You've evolved.
I've evolved into my final form.
Because it was like from coming out to being like to everyone in your life to being like just this confident, like powerful force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I definitely feel so much more myself now and feel powerful in myself. And I would even say that I feel more confident, like not wearing makeup and like just being myself fully in a way that I never, ever, ever was before. Not that that has anything to do with being a grown gay or not, but
just an old lesbian hating on young queers.
I'm not hating on. I'm pretty sure that like most of the music I listen to is made by young queers.
No, Rebel. Remember when you told me there was this teacher and she was like, oh, she hated me because I was a young gay and old lesbians always hate young
okay,
lesbians.
I stand by that still. I still think that teacher hated me because I was a young lesbian.
But do you think all old lesbians hate young lesbians?
No, but I do think that there's like a flash of jealousy. I think there's a flash of jealousy. So like what
age do you think you'll be when you start like being to like young queer people?
Never.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm aware of it.
She says that now.
But maybe when I'm 70, I guess. You wanted an age, so I guess I'll give you that age.
Yeah.
Because I definitely don't see it being when I'm still in like my 50s. Like, I don't know. I feel like 70. That sounds like a good age.
I think you start hating everything when you're 70.
Yeah, I feels like.
I think you're jealous of any young person.
Yeah, I feel like the young queers would fall right in line with all the other things that I hate if I was 70. Not saying anything about being 70. I just feel like, I'm not. Yeah. If you're 70, I'm sure you're awesome.
When you're 70, I think you earn the fucking right to like hate on whatever you want. Like old and bitter if you want to be. Because it's like by then you're like, why am I appeasing anyone? I don't like you. Get away from me. You don't need a reason.
Yeah.
Life's short. I don't have much time.
But then also like, okay, so my dad is 66. He turned 66 today. And I don't think my dad is old. So I'm like, oh, in 4 years, I don't know that he would be old. I'm thinking maybe 76 is old, maybe. Yeah, I feel like 76 is like, that's old.
I don't know.
No. I feel like 80. I feel like when you're 80, you're definitely old. Like there's no question about it. You're old when you're 80.
I think when you're 100, you're old.
For sure when you're 100, you're old.
Rebel wants us to live for a really long time. And I'm like, please just don't stop it.
I do want us to live for a very long time. But,
I have makeup in my eye and it burns.
A girl can dream.
Okay. So, my obsession.
Yes.
Is not this podcast. My obsession is like, I don't really have one currently. This last week has been a blur. I am still obsessed with Euphoria because I thought it was over. And then I was like, wait, no, it wasn't the shortest season ever. It's just that we're still in the new season. And because we're noobs and we just binge watched it. Yeah, and like, yeah, it's like now I'm living for Sunday night.
I live for it
and
too.
That's pretty much it because I'm just like working and all that shit. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna have a better obsession next week because I feel like I'm gonna live life and do things.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have an obsession. Okay, I'll just be online more. And I'll be on my phone and then I'll be like, I'm obsessed with this now. That's usually what the obsessions come from.
Oh my gosh.
And I haven't been online that much, so.
I'll give you another obsession to make up for Chev not really having an obsession.
Your nails.
My nails. Okay, that's a lie. I haven't had fake nails for a really long time. Chev corrected me. I thought I hadn't had fake nails since like 2014, but she told me I forgot about a time when I got really shitty fake nails done by someone. So I just X'd that out of my memory. So I got these fake nails. They're amazing and they make me feel so good. And I look at my hand and I'm just like, you're so cool. And they're just making me so happy. And I love them. I'm obsessed with them. But yeah, I just want to have fake nails all the time now. And I'm trying to figure out how to work it into my budget because I want to have them forever because they're amazing.
And
but
I
yeah.
have a raccoon eye now because I can't stop rubbing my eye.
Stop it.
And the mascara is going everywhere.
Stop.
It burns. Don't you hate when that happens?
I hate when that happens. So let's wrap it up so that you can go wash out your eye. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We love you so much and we'll see you next Wednesday.